just wish there was a way they could take these bodies and make them life-size, you know? Kind of like that. Also, I've heard people say that owning a Corvette changes you. I, for one, do not notice any difference. I am the same guy that I was yesterday. That's probably the coolest freaking car I've ever seen in my entire life. Holy shit. Check it out. I have always wanted a 63 to 64 Corvette. They are just ungodly expensive, but the guys at US Body have hooked it up with a life-size version of this little guy right here. Brand new fiberglass. Everything is perfect on it. I actually saw a C2 Corvette. It was like a 64, I think, sell on eBay. The frame was rotten. Basically, the frame was no good, and the body was broke in the back. You're going to have to replace the whole back half. It sold for like 52 grand. So I was 99% sure I was never going to own one of these. And then the guys at US Body, also, it's the same guys from Star Creations who are building Cletus McFarlane's race car. They made a race car from scratch. They're kind of like twin companies, if that makes any sense. So they reached out. They said, we like what you do. Do you like anything that we have? They have like 50 different bodies. I said, I want that Vette. And sure enough, a couple weeks later, she just showed up. I should have got the camera out whenever we unloaded it because I don't own a forklift. So it took about an hour to get it off the semi-truck. We ended up tying chains to the frame of it, and then we pushed it out, got it onto one of my dad's body carts that he made like 30 years ago. And it was touch and go there for a while, but luckily, since this is all fiberglass, it's super light, and it just glided right on the cart. We pushed it in, no big deal. Very happy. I was almost certain we were gonna break something, but it came out great. Now, what is cool about a 64, 63 Corvette is that they are naturally fiberglass. A stock Corvette is fiberglass. Even though this is a kit car, people want to call it a kit car, this is basically what you would use if you were going to replace a stock body. They sell these, and then people will use the back half on a regular car or whatever. They'll use pieces here and there. Also, since they molded it off a 63 body, you can run stock doors, stock hoods, all the stock parts will still go in, windshields, all that will still fit. So I am beyond excited. I talked the other day about what I was going to do. I just made a little teaser video. It was like a 2-minute YouTube video. Never done that before. Probably never going to do it again because it did horribly, but I just wanted to kind of show it off a little bit. I talked about putting it on a C3 Corvette, which is 68 to like 82. Well, the wheelbase is the same. The track width is the same. I got to doing some measurements. The nose length is different, and this line right here is where the seat would be if I did chassis swap it onto a C3. So that wouldn't work out. You know, you obviously want your seat back where it should be. Like, this would be the back of the seat, essentially, from the measurements I took. So not a big fan of that. We are going to go ahead and do a full custom chassis, and here is what's great. I already have a full custom chassis that has been sitting on this truck for 3 years. This was originally a customer car. I built the chassis from scratch. It's airbagged. It lays really low. It'll actually lay on the ground. The frame has a big kick down in it, so it sits really, really low. I think the frame is only, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches off the ground, which is going to be huge for this because big guys do not fit in Corvettes very well. My grandpa had a 61, a C1, the earlier model of the Vette, and I loved it. I could never fit in it. We were going to have to retrofit it with like a tiny steering wheel, almost like a lowrider steering wheel, because me and my dad could barely get in the thing with a stock steering wheel. They just don't have a ton of room. So if we go with this custom chassis instead of some sort of a chassis swap, I can get that frame way down in there, and we can still get this thing basically laying on the ground now since we're going to be using that chassis, which is awesome. I didn't know what I was going to do with this truck. It was an abandoned customer car, and he kind of fell out of love with it. He ended up getting into motorcycles and basically just bailed on it. It's been sitting for a while. I was going to throw a motor and transmission in it. It already has motor mounts and transmission mounts for like a Chevy V8 setup. But I don't know. I'd rather do a chassis swap on it. I had a chassis swap. I did a $1,000 chassis swap on one of these bodies before. It was one of my most popular videos. These things go on top of a Crown Vic like they were meant for it. So we're going to steal this chassis, and we're going to put that body on a Crown Vic. But for now, I'm just going to get the body out of here, probably put it at my farm just for storage, and we're going to steal that chassis and try and get it under the Corvette. First thing we have to do before we do any of that is get this damn thing out of this crate, and I think I'm gonna have to destroy the crate to get it out. I do have the engine hoist to pick the body up if I need to. Let's cut some wood. I had no clue what these were. They were just kind of wrapped up this way, so I thought originally, I was like, oh, maybe that's a flare. But then I saw that and I go, oh, I know what that is. That is a relief for the bumpers. Like that. That's neat as hell. Try and run real bumpers, but I haven't looked them up yet. If they're like $5 grand or something, we'll make these work. Because I'm not getting that crazy. But I had no clue what those were. Also, I only thought there was 2 of them, so I thought, oh, just maybe rear flares. No, there's 4 of them. So bumpers. I don't think I can get the doors out without getting the body up. And I also need to take this off before it falls on the ground and I break it. That is neater than yes. All right, I'm gonna throw a strap on it. Pray that nothing happens whenever I lift it up. Yeah, let's see what happens. So I don't think I can get these out. I don't think I can get those out without the body being up. Oh, I'm nervous. You know, I have owned a lot of cars in my life, probably more than 99.9% of the population. I've never got one in a box. All right, plan now is to cut the straps and hopefully lift the body up and we can just push this crate outside. Hopefully. Shit might hit the fan too. We're gonna take this real slow. If we start hearing any cracking, we're gonna stop. Is the damn thing tight yet? What the hell? There we go. Something's happening. What was that? What the hell was that? I'm gonna move this back so I can see it better. Am I losing my mind? Did I not hear a noise? Maybe I didn't hear a noise. Still not up yet. Oh, I heard a crack. Oh, I heard another crack. Oh, I heard another crack. Easy. Is something attached to the front? What the hell? No, she just weighted wrong. Oh, that's not fiberglass crack, that's wood. That's the wood creaking. Come on, go. I need to move this forward, but I don't think I can anymore. If I go forward, it's going to slip past the windshield. How can I do this? Damn. It's way off. I need to come way forward. I can get the doors out now at least. Let me get the doors out. Where's my... Oh, sweet! I didn't even know that. They have an interior panel too. That's awesome. I didn't know that. I don't think the interior panel's glued together yet though, so that's good. Man, these look perfect. Oh, I can't wait to throw this door. Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm so fucking happy. All right, I'm gonna move that strap. Try this again. I need to cut this box up, get it outside, and then I can sit this back on the cart. It'll be much more manageable. All right, I got the box all broke down, sitting outside. I got the body on the little cart. I sat the door up there. It's just sitting there. It looks pretty damn good. The inner door, I was about to say door panel. It's not a door panel. It's the inner door. But that is what makes it hold its shape, and that's also structure. This is just like a thin sheet of fiberglass. But still, considering the fact it's just sitting there and kind of wobbly, it does not look bad. We will definitely be able to work with that. Sweet. Oh, I'm stoked. Damn, that looks good. Now that we got the Corvette body all squared away, it's time to take the body off this truck. And I was gonna start taking all the fenders off and whatnot so I can lift the cab up with the engine hoist, but I have a little bit of a problem, and that is this very nice, very pretty, shiny painted hood. And I don't want to work around it. I don't want to scratch it. I don't want to pick it up by myself. So we're just going to put a pin in this until tomorrow or the next day when the old man can help me. And we will sit that back on the 55, and then we can start digging into all this. I need to get a better battery for this. The battery was dead. This technically runs and drives, just isn't running and driving right. LS3 problems. I mean, LS motors just hate me. That's a big issue. That's a different story. But I should be able to scoot the Corvette over, drive this out, bring that hoist right here, pick this up, and then we'll take all these body parts whenever I get them off of the chassis and take them either to my farm or to the other shop somewhere. And then we should just be able to bring the Corvette body over here, sit it right on the chassis. That's the goal for this video. It would normally be like a 2-hour thing, take a body off, put a body on, but I had to spend 4 hours breaking down the box that car came in. And this one, I kind of built this floor and everything specifically to this frame, so it doesn't come off the easiest. But yeah, we should still be able to knock it out. This is actually a really nice truck. I freaking love this truck. And that's why we are going to build it on a Crown Vic. She does sit pretty. Ooh. All right, we'll be back.
The next day.
All right. I got the Vette out of the way. 56 won't start because the battery's dead. And apparently the battery is so dead it won't take a charge. So we pulled it out with the Hummer. And now we got some room. I'm gonna try and see if I can't get this body off of here without Dad. He's not feeling good. And I got a little tickle in my throat right now, so I'm hoping I'm not getting whatever the hell he has. But let's see what we can do. Let's roll. All right, I got the front end off. I got the bed off. Got it sitting over there. Now comes the hard part, the cab, and I have it tack welded to the frame, so I got to cut a couple tack welds. I didn't want it moving around, but I didn't want to bolt it down yet because we were planning on taking it off for paint and whatnot. I got to cut a couple tack welds, and then we should be able to lift this cab off and start cutting up the frame because right now it is way too long for a Corvette. Corvette's wheelbase is like, I think 98 inches, and this one is, I think, 115. Obviously, I'll break the tape measure out whenever it's time, but we're gonna have to take 18 inches out of it or something like that. So yeah, we gotta worry about getting the cab off before we start doing framework, though. Let's go! Sweet! Oh, that went better than I thought. Now, I can still fuck it up, don't get me wrong, but that wasn't too bad. Ha ha! Okay, got the cab off, got the bed off, all that. Cab's outside. We're going to grab it tomorrow with a trailer. I got this measured. 55 Ford truck is 110 inches, not 115 like a 55 Chevy. So we double checked that. This was a ½ inch off from side to side, but that's because I never set my 4-link up. So I just had to unscrew, screw, all that bullshit to get it adjusted right. So now it's all square. I do need to redo my panhard bar because whenever it's at ride height, that should be level, not up like it is, but there's more adjustment both ways, so not worried about that right now. That's not the end of the world. I just wanted to make sure everything was square before I started cutting, because you do not want a crooked rear end when you're trying to do framework. So I got this all marked out. I'm gonna do a staggered cut. So we're gonna take 12 inches out and then leave these sections up here, so it'll actually have more of a weld. Instead of just a straight cut, I'll have a full weld all the way across there. So we're basically ready to go. What else? Oh, I also welded a bar in here. Technically my transmission cross member would have been okay. It's not gonna suck in, but sometimes when you cut a frame, the frame rails will just come in a bunch, and you do not want to have to pull it all back out. That's a pain in the ass. So I usually just weld a quick bar in there. Luckily I'm cutting it back enough here that I don't need to, because I got that cross member as well. So yeah, let's cut some shit, baby. All right, here is our 12-inch section, and I've Z-cut it, and these are both 6 inches. So whenever it's slid together, I just have a perfect little Z to weld. And then I also have, after I get that welded, I'm gonna grind the welds down, and then I'm gonna put one of these on each side, the outside and the inside of the frame. We're gonna use these like fish plates. And now, the way we've cut that, and then once we add those, that section will actually be stronger than a non-cut section. Anytime you cut something and weld it, it's never as strong as it was before. But with this, since we're adding more plate to it, and since we did the Z cut, it'll actually be stronger now, which is great. So, I got a weld for the next hour, basically, but I wanted to tell you that before I got started. Let's go. So I got everything welded. I was getting ready to start adding my fish plates, and the welder took a shit on me. Can't believe it. I broke it all down to figure out what's going on. The little motor that turns the wheel that makes the wire come out took a shit. It smells like a burnt electric motor. So I'm gonna have to order one of those. So the welder's down. So we're gonna add the fish plates some other time, which is kind of a bummer, but these old Lincolns will run forever. I think I've had this thing for 10 years. I've replaced a bunch of parts. I've never had to replace this, but I haven't even looked up the parts yet. But if it's anything like the other stuff I've had to replace, this is probably like a $40 part. So it's a hell of a good welder. I really like it. Like I said, I've welded up a lot of frames with it. Even though this is, I think, 3/16, I still couldn't turn it all the way up. I was melting right through it. She's a beast. So hopefully it's not gone forever and I can fix it. But we are completely done. Actually, I take that back. I want to get it off of my jack stands so that I know that it's sitting on its own suspension. Then we're gonna try and get this body on here, which is not gonna be easy by myself, but I think we can do it. But first, let's get her sitting on her own wheels. All right, check it out. She is shortened and rolling, sitting on its own wheels. Now, the only thing I'm worried about is if this doesn't stick out too much. We might need to trim this down a little bit because the Vette does not have a ton of room after the rear wheels. It might be okay. I measured it and it's really close. It's within a couple inches, but most likely just to make it easy on myself, I might cut it down. There's a couple cross members already there. I might just whack that off real quick. Hey, yo! I might cut that off. Woo! Take it easy now. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. Yeah, let's cut that, and then we're going to try and get this body on here. It is so late. We are working way too much lately, but I'm excited. I want to see this thing on the ground. Holy crap, I'm nervous. I do not like picking this body up like this. Hopefully once it's on the frame, I can kind of, just jack up one end, and then we're going to reinforce everything with metal. But for now, it's just a big fiberglass shell. I feel like I hear creaks and cracks every now and then. I'm not excited about it. Easy, mama. Oh, I ran over a rock. Oh! Easy. Oh, I'm way off. I gotta put this way. Oh, this part's gonna be scary. Whoa! Okay. Stop rocking. Stop rocking. Ooh, I heard a creak. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, you gotta come out a lot. You gotta come this way a lot. The body's sitting on the hoist. I knew that was going to happen, but that's all right. We'll fix that in a second. Okay. Why is that so wide? No. Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, it's just because it's stuck on. Okay. We're good. All right, I'm going to get this off. These wheels might be out too far. We're gonna find out. That's probably the coolest freaking car I've ever seen in my entire life. Holy shit. I really wanted it to completely lay on the ground, but my tires are way too big. Also, I think those are 17s up there, which is a bigger rim and tire than I would want. But these are just, none of these rims match. It's 4 different wheels. So obviously I can't do any body mounting yet until I get the right wheels on there. But just sitting there, holy shit. I love it. I love it so much. I mean, I might love it the most. Here's problems. Now, we obviously knew we were going to run into problems. Problems are this rear 4-link suspension. Oh, wow, it's really dark in there. Well, let me get right there. Maybe that'll work. This was set up whenever this was behind the cab. This was going to be inside the truck. And that is not going to work anymore now that basically my seat will go there. So we're going to have to tweak that. We'll end up running a triangle 4-link, which what that does is it takes those top bars and makes them go in. So it'll save me all of that room. Basically, I can cut all that out from there up, which will be really nice. And then I basically have a normal seat, essentially. I was going to try and get it super low, but I don't think I'm going to go too crazy on this one. I mean, it's like 1 inch off the ground right now, but we might raise it a little bit more so that the rocker panel matches exactly where the frame is. If you look right now, the frame goes up a little bit, and some of that is because the body is hitting my tires that are too tall. So I think what I need to do before I do anything is get a smaller set of wheels and tires on this thing, and I need to get 4 of them that match. And then I'll be able to make sure everything is square, and then we can come in here and start making body mounts. And if that frame can come down more or the body goes up, we'll basically have a straight shot all the way across for the floor, which will make it really nice. It'll give me more room. Obviously, the more that frame can come down, the more headroom I have. I think right now the tires are actually what's holding the body up. The tires are hitting right here. So if I have a, smaller wheel setup, that frame should be able to come down more. So we just got to tweak a couple things and we'll see. But most likely, we'll just raise the body up a little bit and then match with that. But we got a bunch of stuff that we can tweak and change. Holy shit, I mean, that thing looks awesome. Also, the height, this is lower than my Porsche was. I had a really low Porsche. It's literally up to my belt buckle. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty low. I mean, damn. Now, like I said, we'll probably end up going up a little bit, but shit, I absolutely love it. With the CRX, I'm dealing with big person in a tiny car. I'm not going to do that on 2 cars. So, like I said, if the body has to come up so I can have more headroom, I will. I don't want to raise it too much because, damn, that looks good. Another cool thing with this is the suspension setup. The way that I built this frame, my airbags lift a full 11 inches. They get the full travel of the bag, and these are extra tall bags. So right now, this is obviously aired out. Whenever it goes up, it'll be 11 inches up. So it'll end up being higher than a stock Corvette would be whenever I get air in it. But I can't do that yet, obviously, because the body's not mounted. Oh, dude. I can probably sit here and look at this thing for the rest of the day. Wow. Holy shit, that's cool. All right, we got to order a bunch of parts, obviously. I need to get some metal. I'm going to get metal, and then I'm going to get some panel bond adhesive. And I looked up what guys do. They'll take flat plate and actually panel bond it to the inside of this. So you essentially make basically like a roll cage to the body off of like 1/4-inch plate, and then you glue it to the fiberglass. And that panel bond is basically stronger than a weld. It'll be stronger than fiberglass, and that's how you hold it all together. So I got a bunch of parts I need to order, but I'm so stoked to actually have the body on the chassis. That looks cooler than the truck ever did. I will say that for sure. Check it out. I got the banner up. We got to represent. I mean, we got a Corvette body. We got to show it off, show off people that made it. Very, very happy about that. I also popped the hood off. I kind of wanted to get an idea of like engine room. This is huge. This is probably one of the biggest engine compartments I've ever seen. Obviously, I don't have any inner fenders or anything like that in. The only thing we got to worry about is height, because this is not a very tall car. Now, granted, we got her sitting on her ass. I think we'll still be okay. This scoop is most likely going to come in very handy. This raises it, I don't know, probably 6 inches or so. 6 inches is ginormous, like way too big. Maybe the biggest anything's ever been. But anyways, I should be good there. I think we're just gonna go with, I don't know, small block Chevy, regular transmission, nothing too wild. I don't wanna do an LS swap on it. I wanna keep it old school. I'm thinking like I really like the 3.2 intake, where you have 3 2-barrel intakes. I think some of the Corvettes in the 60s actually had those. That would be bitchin'. I had an old radiator sitting around. I think I used this one in the 55 Ford, and I just wanted to see where it was at. We definitely need a much shorter radiator because she is a skinny girl, to say the least. First thing I'm going to do before we can do anything, any fab work, we got to get a matching set of wheels on here. I think I said that the other day, but I took measurements. They're Chevy pattern. I'm going to get like some 15s with some smaller tires, and I want them offset in, which is like a front wheel drive setup, I think, is where it's negative offset instead of positive. I want to bring these in a little bit. Technically, you can run more narrower A-arms for the Mustang too, but I think I'll be all right if I just have some wheels that come in a little bit instead of go out. And in the back, I got plenty of room. I can basically do whatever I want back here. I'll probably get a lip on the rears, have them come out 2 or 3 inches. So we're gonna order some rims, order some parts, and we definitely need to get some metal, a lot of metal. And if the rear tire doesn't come down enough, doesn't make the frame come down enough, I'm gonna probably end up notching this, kind of like I did on my CRX, and have it kick down, because headroom is gonna be huge on this. And if that frame goes down 4 inches, that basically changes how you sit in the car altogether. So I definitely am going to look into that. Hopefully the smaller wheels will help in the back. When I say smaller, I mean not as tall. They're still gonna be huge, they're gonna be wide. I already got a new 4-link coming for the top end. We're gonna, hopefully I can just change the tops and not have to change the whole thing, but we'll see how that goes, because I cannot have that right there. It's gonna take up all the room in the world. Super excited about this thing, man. It's hard not to smile when you look at it. I mean, holy shit. I've sent a couple pictures to guys, buddies, and they're like, what the hell? That's the shit. I'm like, yeah, wait till you see it in person. So the last video on this took place about a week ago. Been looking for a motor, transmission, can't really find one. The ones I see are just, they either have 400,000 miles or people want $5 grand for small block Chevys, which I didn't realize they went up that much in price, but couldn't figure it out. I was sitting there thinking, talking to Dad. He said, what you need to do is steal a motor and transmission out of another car. And I said, well, all the stuff I have is nice. And he said, what about one you don't like and it's not nice? And then we both were like, oh yeah, I do have one of those around. The Drift Camaro. This thing has been sitting for 4 months. Has a built 350 in it, a really good transmission. Transmission slips a little bit. Maybe let's not say real good transmission. It has a transmission that shifts, but maybe needs some help. Brand new radiator, brand new gas tank, brand new carburetor, all new fuel lines. I'm going to use every single bit out of this thing. Also, it has a full roll cage in it, and I'm gonna cut that out and use that in this Corvette too. So it basically has damn near everything I need. I'm gonna start digging in on that right now, but you're gonna have to watch that on the next video coming up. This Corvette's gonna need a nickname. I'm not a big nickname car person, but since we're cannibalizing 2 different projects to make this one work, I think we gotta have something. Maybe like the recycled Corvette, the cannibalized Corvette, or I don't hate that as much, I kinda like that. The cannibal Corvette. I don't know, give me an idea, because apparently we're just gonna steal parts off all other projects that we're not using and we don't like. Damn, that thing looks good. I am extremely happy with how this came out. Obviously, like, to me, that's the coolest looking thing ever. I've always wanted a 60s Corvette, and the fact that I have one laying on the ground is pretty great. I'm also happy not only to be able to use this chassis, but to get an idea on where we're going forward, not only with this car, but the 55 Ford truck. I love that truck, it's badass. It's just been sitting for a couple years now. It's mine now, and I just didn't really have an idea. I'd rather do a chassis swap on it than build a custom chassis and just go crazy on it. I'd much rather do that with this. So very happy this worked out. I wasn't sure, I thought it was gonna be too wide at first, but it seems like it's gonna work out great. Very excited, hope you like this project. I gotta order a bunch of parts. It's probably not gonna be on here for another couple weeks, maybe a month, because I gotta get a ton of shit for it. Obviously, motor, transmission, metal, everything. It's literally just a frame and a body right now, but still super excited. It looks so good. I'm so happy. Big shout out to US Body and Star Creations. They hooked it up here. Obviously, this is going to be a big build on the channel. You're going to see it a lot more. But I talked to the owner of US Body. He's going to do a discount for anybody that follows my channel or uses a code. It's going to be a pretty big discount too. He's talking numbers. I'm not going to say what they are, but I'm talking thousands of dollars being saved on if you get a full body. So stay tuned for that and more. If he ends up doing that discount before this video comes out, I will put it in the description of the video. If not, stay tuned for future videos, but definitely go give them a shout out. I don't think they have a YouTube yet, but they do have Instagram. So US Body, Star Creations, go show them some love for the coolest merchandise on the planet. Go to Caseyscustoms.com. Please hit that subscribe button if you got this far in the channel. Help a brother out. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, comment, all that good shit they tell you in the videos, and check out some more of my other videos. Peace. I love you.